All right. Well, they were foolish enough to let me talk again. So let me tell you about my children. How many of you have children? How many of you love your children? How many of you are proud of your children? Most of the hands stayed up. That's good. Congratulations. Very good, very good. Okay, so in libertarian circles or global libertarian culture, I'm known as Papa Lobo. I have about 500 children that I know of because I teach. And I've had a hobby of teaching economics and entrepreneurship for 20 plus years. And I have to tell you, it is one of the most life-changing and life-enhancing experiences imaginable. How many of you have ever done any kind of teaching? And I know we have professors in here, but how many of you have ever, even just a one-on-one, go to the local school and talk to a kid? How many of you ever had a chance to teach some kids something? That's it. So you know what I speak of when you, I remember one of my first teaching experiences was as a college class, and I went as an intern in a local grade school, and I was teaching fifth graders, maybe it was third graders, I don't know, some little kids. And I don't know how it came up, but I had to explain the concept of infinity to this little girl. And I explained, and like on the third time she got it. And the light bulb over her head was so physical, I could have grabbed it and screwed it into a socket and I would have had light for infinity. The brightness of her face when she got it, I see the nodding heads. You understand what I'm talking about. This experience, it's great to learn something, but to be the person who enabled that learning, it's so cool. You have victory, you have success, but somehow, as selfish and Ayn Randian as I am, the knowledge that I've helped this person achieve this enlightenment is just immensely moving and powerful. So, and I think it was our dear departed Vince Miller who used to say that liberty is a philosophy best transmitted through person-to-person communication. And so I can't say that I've mass-produced this or taken it to scale like Lex Friedman likes to say, but I've made a hobby of doing this as much as I can. And through the graces of this organization, I've been given a platform to do this all around the world. I've done it in China. How many people liked my money speech yesterday? How many people would like to see that money speech delivered in China? I did that to a bunch of young people, thanks to Lee School and in this organization. I don't know how many it was, but it was China, so of course it was hundreds. I've done it in Lithuania is where it started. We were just talking about Lithuania. I've done it in Romania. I've done it in Georgia. I haven't done it in Russia yet, but I have done it in Minsk, which is maybe the last self-identified chunk of the Iron Curtain still standing, the old one, not the new one we're building, in the world. I remember very clearly a former student of ours who's a teacher at a university in Minsk, the Belarusian State Economic University, where they teach you all about running state enterprises and other such useful things. I went for a visit because, of course, in the last communist dictatorship of Eastern Europe, you don't get invited as a free marketeer to give an economics lecture. So I just went for a visit to the university. And the professor casually stepped aside. And the room just happened to be packed full of all kinds of university students that day. And so I gave it to him with both barrels, free markets, liberty, everything that you hold dear. And the point isn't how great am I or how wonderful I feel doing all this. The point really is the pay it forward aspect of this. If you're in this room, you care about these ideas and you want to see them transmitted and spread and to make a difference in the world. And I'm telling you, as Papa Lobo, I have seen this happen. I don't have statistics. It's hard to keep track of kids. You know how they are. They grow up, they move out. You know, you're lucky if they call you on Christmas and Thanksgiving. But I know, a large number of them have become entrepreneurs. A large number of them have become IT entrepreneurs. No wonder. A number of them have become CEOs. One kid has created 2 startups and sold them in Silicon Valley twice. He's done it twice. Has more money than I do. I told you Saturday about the kid who made more money than I did out of his dorm room in Minsk trading. Some of them are housewives, but happy and transmitting their values to the most amazing kids. So I'm known as Papa Lobo, but it's really getting to where I'm Grandpapa Lobo now. And it spreads. You see these amazing young people going out there in the world, and simply by being themselves, by being admirable and successful, which we spoke about Saturday, they help this wave become self-propagating and spread further. I can see this now. This is happening now. And okay, maybe it's not the same as winning an election in a big country like this one. But it's the kind of teaching that stays. You can't unlearn it. I have met many former socialists. I have met people who've changed their minds about many things, but I've never met a former libertarian. I've never met anybody who said, my whole life, this is a Ken Schoolin thing. My whole life I've advocated for free markets and liberty, but now, experience has taught me that I really need Big Brother to take care of me. I need more regulations. I need to give up more of my salary because, the post office does such a great job delivering my mail. I want them to deliver my health care and blah, blah, blah. That never happens. So this thing, this two-directional gift, the gift of teaching and the benefit of that you get back from that, the positive energy. It's like Highlander. Remember the Highlander movie? Every time he chops off somebody's head, he gets all their accumulated energy. It's like that, except for in the end, there doesn't have to be one. It's more and more and more. And every time you educate, you help the world, you help yourself, you make our whole universe a better place, and you get this enormous emotional high, and there's no drugs involved. Well, maybe endorphins or somebody, a doctor could tell me, but no over-the-counter or illegal drugs involved. So I encourage everybody to get involved. And of course, if you don't have time to do this in person, in person it's wonderful, but if you don't, may I humbly suggest, yes, here it comes, you support this organization. I would not have had these experiences if not for Liberty International. And I am so grateful. And all the young people that we've reached are equally grateful. And by the way, you young people out there, remember, when you get old and rich like me, you need to chip in. Not that rich. But I just this morning, we don't write checks anymore, but I did the equivalent of writing a check, the largest one I've ever written to this organization. Because of the matching funds, I will step down, but just remember, somebody has pledged us more money than we've ever made at an event like this, like more than twice as much. And it kills me to think of leaving that matching fund on the table. So my personal thank you, to Liberty International, and to the whole libertarian movement for allowing me the privilege of participating with you, teaching with you, sharing with you, crying with you, laughing with you, was to chip in on this matching fund thing, because I have seen the effectiveness of it, and I want to see more of it. Thank you very much.